Welcome back to Cuban with a Twist. Today we're making our arroz con pollo. It's a special dish. My brother loves it, my sister loves it, and we're going to start by seasoning the chicken. I have about 2.5 pounds of chicken. I've taken off the skin. As you can see, we're going to start seasoning. It's nice and rinsed and dried. So we're going to start with a little bit of sea salt. That it covers the chicken. I'm going to turn it over. Make sure when you're working with chicken to always clean everything after you touch it and use it. We're going to put a little bit of Goya completa. Be generous and cover it. Okay, we're going to take a lime. Squeeze it all over. Okay, we're going to take 2 bouillons. Now we're going to add a little bit of this allegro. It's a marinade and a tenderizer. I don't know if you can find it at your local store, but maybe a gourmet store, you'll be able to find it. We're just going to add a little bit. This has a little bit of teriyaki sauce in it. It's just going to help the meat become softer. And then we're going to add the olive oil. Be generous. Okay. We're going to hand toss this around so that everything is covered with the seasoning. And then we're going to chill this for at least an hour to 2 in the refrigerator. Now I've got a red pepper, a sweet onion, and fresh garlic. Now for the amount of arroz con pollo that I'll be making today, I've taken 4 cloves of garlic, 1 whole sweet onion, and 1 whole red pepper. You want to use red pepper with this dish and not green pepper. It adds a different kind of flavor. It's a little bit more sweeter. So we're just going to chop up the garlic. The last bit of the onion. And even, put it all together. And remember, when you're using onions, it's always good to put a little bit of cold water, draining. That way your eyes don't get all teary. Now your red pepper. Okay, behind me I have a large pot which I have covered the base with olive oil, and I'm going to start adding my vegetables. That's the sound that you want to hear. This was a dish that my tia used to make maybe 2 or 3 times a month, and every time she would make it, we were so excited because it was just one of our favorite meals. Okay, we're going to stir this. And again, we want to have the peppers nice and soft, the onion translucent. At this point right now I'm going to add a little bit of sea salt, just slightly covered. A little bit of black pepper. And we're going to stir this probably for about 6 or 7 minutes, just based on the quantity of onions that we have. Now we're stirring this, and it's reached the translucence that I want, and it's soft. And right now we're going to cook the chicken. So we're adding the chicken that's been chilling for about 2 hours, and we're going to cook the chicken. Okay, we're going to stir that around. I've got it at 6. I'm going to put it a little bit higher to about 7. Now this is going to cook in here probably for about 25 to 30 minutes. We're going to stir it occasionally because we don't want it to burn on any of the parts of the chicken. Okay? It's been about 20 minutes. We're going to take a look at it. We're going to stir it. Okay, as you can see, it's starting to stick at the bottom. When it starts to stick at the bottom, just a little bit. Okay. What I want to do at this point is add some of the basic ingredients to start the rice. We're going to add 1 can of the Goya tomato sauce. Just 1 can. I usually don't like using canned products, but in this instance, it's what works best. It's what my tia used. I have tried using fresh tomatoes before, and it's good, but it's not the same flavor. So we're stirring this around. Okay, the chicken's all coated. Now we're also going to add 1 spoonful of the Goya Sofrito. I wasn't kidding when I said that this was one of my staple ingredients. We're going to add a little bit more just because of the size of the pot. Half a cup of white dry wine. Now we'll stir that around. Now things are really starting to take shape. Also, when you're making this dish, always try to use chicken with bone in. The bone really adds flavor to it. It's a fantastic Now that I've let that stir and really blend in well, we're going to add the rice. You want to use white, long grain rice. I'm going to do about 2.5 cups to 3 cups. Depending on the size of your family. Add that. Go. Here we're going to use chicken stock. I want the flavors of the spices that I put in there to really season the meat and season the rice. So I'm going to use the blander form. So that's 1.5 cups. We're going to stir it. We don't want it to stick to the bottom. So we're coating that with the liquid. You hear it's not bubbling anymore. As you can see, we can still see the rice. It's lightly covered by the sauce. Right now we're going to add a little bit of saffron. Saffron is a great spice, but you need very little of it. You'll be surprised how little you need of it. So I have a couple of little flakes in here. It just looks like a little yellow string. You can see that. And that's all I'm going to add, is those tiny little bit of strings. Just going to add a little bit of flavor and color. We're going to bring this up to a boil, and as soon as it starts boiling, we're going to bring it down to probably about a 2, maybe 1.5, 2, depending on the strength of your stove. And we're going to let it sit from anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes, stirring it occasionally. Okay, now we're going to take a look and see how the progress of the arroz con pollo. Okay, most of the liquid has been soaked up by the rice. We're going to stir it to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. And at this point, we're going to add some water. Right there. Now, rule of thumb is 1 cup of water for each cup of rice that you put in, but we already had sauce in here. So we're going to add 1.5 cups, and we're going to watch this as it's cooking. That's your first cup. Okay, we're going to add the rest of the water. Stir to make sure that the water goes evenly. You have to make sure that you add the right amount of water, because if not, the rice will be mushy. Or if you don't add enough water, it'll be very hard. Now, it's easier to add than it is to take away. So now we're going to top that. And then I'm going to show you, we've cut some pimentons that are pitted. Okay? It comes with a little bit of red roasted pepper inside of it. I've cut it into small little pieces, not a lot. This has a nice flavor. And we're going to add that right now to our rice. And it's just green olives. We're stirring that in. Always making sure that the rice is not sticking to the bottom. Temperature is low. And then we'll come and check on it again in about 20 minutes. Okay, we're back. It's been about 25 minutes or so, so let's take a look at where we're at. Top off. Okay, it's got a great color. The rice is cooked. We're going to stir it around. And at this point, I'm just going to let the steam do the rest. It's still a little bit sticky. So now we're not going to have any top on, and this should be ready in about the next 15 minutes or so. So we're going to get started on the platanitos maduros. We're going to be plating this dish with some platanitos maduro. So this is what they look like. This color, nice and black. The darker it is, the sweeter the banana is inside. Okay, so we've cut the top off. I'm going to cut the base off and slide it down the middle. There we go. Just peel it like you would peel a regular banana all the way around. There we go. Right, and then we're going to just cut it diagonal. Not so thick, not too thin, happy medium. There we go. Now that it's sliced, I'm going to see if my pan is ready. And it is. Slide those in. We're going to be plating this dish with some platanitos maduro. So this is what they look like. This color, nice and black. The darker it is, the sweeter the banana is inside. Okay, so we've cut the top off. I'm going to cut the base off and slide it down the middle. There we go. Just peel it like you would peel a regular banana all the way around. There you go. Right? And then we're going to just cut it diagonal. Not so thick, not too thin. Happy medium. Maybe one more. There we go. Now that it's sliced, I'm going to see if my pan is ready. And it is. Slide those in. Okay, we're just turning them. They got a nice golden brown color. Probably about 2 or 3 more minutes and they'll be ready to be plated. Okay, they are ready, so I'm going to start plating them. Just put them over a little napkin so it can absorb most of the oil. Okay, I've plated the dish. We've got the yellow rice and the plantains. And this is your arroz con pollo. This is a family favorite, and I want to thank my tia for showing this recipe to me. And I want to dedicate this to my brother and to my sister. Thank you everybody for watching. Please follow us on Cuban with a Twist, and have a wonderful day.